Hey, Shalom, Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Waharakah Kadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And I just want to touch on this video right here. You know, the elder Yeshawamba responding to the question about you know, if Yahushua lifted the curse, then how can we be under the curses? Which the brother goes into it beautifully, because you have to understand that, you know, what Yahushua did started a process. You know, through Yahushua the curse is lifted, but it's got to play itself out. You know, that's why the Lord has a return. You know, we're saved, but we're not saved, and you should understand that. You know, the salvation isn't complete, but it is assured because the Lord made the sacrifice. So yeah, we're still under the curses, and when Yahushua comes and delivers us, that's when the curses are going to be completely lifted off us. But guess what? Them curses are going to go on our enemies. Okay, and I just, you know, watch this video because the brother goes into it fully. But I want to add this scripture because, you know, you got Deuteronomy 28, but if you read a little bit on from Deuteronomy 28, right, you go a little bit on, you're going to get Deuteronomy 30, right? Now, when you read Deuteronomy 30, what does it say? Let's read it real quick. I got a little bit of time here, but I just wanted to make this point, right? It says, "And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse." Right? What blessing and the curse? That's Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, which is particular to the Israelites. It's not about mankind. It's not about humanity, right? Humanity. It's not. The Bible's not about humanity. Okay. It's about the Israelites. Yeah. The blessings and the curses of Deuteronomy the 28th chapter pertains to the seed of Israel. Okay. It says, "The blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither the Lord thy God hath driven thee." Why? Because the Israelites would be scattered among the nations in these last days because of the curse. Right? It's not the blessing that scattered our people, it's the curse. Yeah? It says, "And thou shalt return unto the Lord thy God." So we would do what? We would bear the blessings and the curses, the covenant would come to our mind, right? Right, and then we would return unto the Lord. But how would we return unto the Lord? The scripture says, "No man cometh to the Father but by Yahushua." So Yahushua is the agent of this. That's, you see, if you ask vocab Deuteronomy 30, did it happen before or after Yahushua? He gonna struggle to answer that question, because if he says before, then he gonna have to show that. If he says after, then that proves that the curse existed after Yahushua, because it still needs to be fulfilled. But he don't, you know, these dudes, man. It says, "And shall obey the voice according to all I command thee this day." So my question is, when did the Israelites return unto the Lord, right, and obey everything that the Lord commanded them? That never happened. That's going to happen through the new covenant. The new covenant, as we're going to show, is how Israel is going to return to the Lord and keep all the laws. All right? And that's through Yahushua. Right? Right? "And I will command thee this day, thou and thy children," which proves reincarnation, "with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity." So the Lord is gonna take us out of captivity. The captivity came because of the curse. So when were the Israelites brought out of captivity? Because even when Yahushua was on the scene, they were still under captivity. They were under the Roman Empire. So they were still under the curses. Why do you think the Romans was lording over them? Right? "And have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all nations whither the Lord thy God hath scattered thee." Well, when did that happen? When did the Lord gather the Israelites from all the nations whither he hath scattered them? Did that happen before Yahushua? Has that happened yet? What's the eschatology? You see, "If any of thine be driven out to the outmost parts of the heaven. From thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. Yahweh Shai is going to do that. That's why it says the Lord's going to gather together the elect from the four winds, because Yahweh Shai is the agent of the fulfillment of this whole chapter. Yeah, it says, for the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. That's the blessings, right? And the Lord thy God will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed. So the circumcision of the heart isn't for everyone. And this is the new covenant, because the new covenant represents the circumcision of the heart. Yeah? The Lord thy God will, and the Lord will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed to love the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. That's the everlasting life. And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies. So all the curses are going to go on our enemies. Yeah? And on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. Right? Doesn't it tell you in the book of Luke, the 1st chapter, the Lord is going to deliver us from the hand of all that hate us? And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Lord, and do all his commandments which I command thee this day. That's the new covenant. So when Yahweh Shai comes, he's going to lift the curse. The new covenant is going to be established in our bodies, because we're going to get them new bodies. We're going to be under that new covenant, and all the curses are going to go on our enemies. And the Lord thy God will make thee plenteous in every work of thine hand, and in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy land, for good. For the Lord will again rejoice over thee for good, and as he rejoiced over his fathers. Yeah. So you see, Yahweh Shai is the agent of this. He's the one that's going to make this come to pass. Now, if you say to Vocab, has this happened already? He'll be struggling. It's either it's happened already or it's going to happen. If it's going to happen, that means the curses are still here, because it tells you quite plainly that we were going to go through the blessings and the curse, call the blessings and the curse to mind, and then return unto the Lord and be delivered. Well, who's the deliverer? Yahweh Shai. Has Yahweh Shai delivered us yet? No. So we're still under the curses. But has he set has he made the sacrifice for those curses to be lifted? Of course. We're in the process, especially with the elect. But you see, these guys, man, they don't understand the scriptures, man. They think they got us in a trick bag. No, you're the one in the trick bag. You're the ones that can't answer the questions. Has Deuteronomy 30 come to pass? And if you're saying it came to pass already, well, show me. And if it hasn't come to pass, that means we're still under the curses. So when is it going to come to pass? And who's going to bring all these things to pass? Come on, man. These dudes are through. They ain't got nothing for us, man. Alright? They ain't got nothing for us, because we coming in the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and the Lord is with us, man. And we got the truth. They ain't got the truth. They ain't slick. So yeah, like Deuteronomy 30th chapter, man, it just messes up their whole thing. They don't understand. Yeah, the Lord took away the curse through his sacrifice, right? Because he's gonna deliver us, man. We're saved through his sacrifice, but we ain't saved yet. We're in the process. That's why we're under this ministry. That's why we're under grace. When we get to Revelation 22 settings, Revelation 21 to 22 setting, that's when everything's going to be completed. Come on, man. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.